Hey guys, welcome to another Wizardry 101 tutorial. I'm Shrek and I'm your Professor of Wizardry today. And this is episode 4 in my series of tutorials that will get you spun up and slinging spells with your friends like the best of them. So, episode 4, what are we going to cover today? We're going to cover spell notation, incompatible elements, and dequeuing spells from your spell queue. Like this. See, I didn't cast any spells, but I got rid of them. Fancy. So, you are a fledgling wizard and you are trying to improve your wizardry. What do? Well, you go on YouTube, you look at tutorials, you go on Steam, you look at the Steam guides and the Steam groups, and you go on the Paradox forums and you talk to all the wonderful wizards there who are more than willing to help you. But you may read some of the guides there and notice that there are interesting combinations of letters that you may not understand, and I'm going to make sure that you do understand them. So, here we have the Paradox forums, and here we have a good example, the Game Balancing Discussion Thread by Lupalisa. And in this thread, we have things like EDX, not X, not D, but ED, DDD, EDF, exclamation point QEF, QSE, SE, QSE, ES, ESR, ESF, exclamation point E, WWW, SFS exclamation point, DDD. The list goes on and on. You can find all kinds of crazy stuff in here. QFS, QSE, WEQ, SES, EFS, SRE, etc., etc., FDF, QDQ. The list goes on and on. What do these mean? Well, I'm going to teach it to you. So early in the alpha, we decided we had to have a standardized way to communicate spells with each other so that we could write them down easily and everyone would understand. And this was called the Lemon's Magicka Spell Notation System. Fancy, I know. Official title. So here is a handy-dandy notepad. And we are going to learn all the elements. So, QWERASDF, not difficult. These all denote their respective element on the keyboard. So Q, water, A, lightning, D, rock, etc., etc. Very simple. But there are three characters that are interesting, and they're not on they're not elements. So what are they? First one is X. What does X mean? X means that this element in the spell can be any compatible element. So you'll see a spell like SDX. So the X can be anything that works. If for this particular spell, you can't have W or A, and I'll get to that later. But anything else, Q, another D, another S, an R, an F, all of these work. Alrighty? So second character is the exclamation point. What does this mean? Well, if you watch tutorial number 2, then you know there are two kinds of spell casting. There are right clicks and there are middle mouse clicks, and they cause casting and self-casting. The exclamation point means that this spell is intended to be self-casted, or the middle mouse button, such as SFS. How about this one? Tilde. You don't see this one very often. Most people just omit it because it's either an exclamation point or it's nothing. But technically, tilde means it's a right-click cast. Perfect. Okay, guys, so now you understand spell notation and you can go out and read it. One thing I need to tell you is that for elements that have... the order doesn't matter, guys. WED is the exact same spell as DEW, is the exact same as SFS is the same as SSF, is the same as FSS. It's all the same spell, you get the same thing, so it doesn't matter. Alright, so you will go on the forums and the spell groups, and you will never, ever, ever, ever find a spell like QAE or ADR or FRE. You will not. If you find them, then whoever typed it has no idea what they're talking about. These are impossible spells, impossible combinations of elements. They are incompatible. So, let's talk about incompatible elements. Go away, notepad. Alright, now, every element has another element that can't be in the same queue with it. For water, it's lightning. If you look down at the spell UI right here, you will notice that lightning is gone. It's grayed out. You can't use it. So if I try and hit lightning, look what happens. My water disappears. If I try and do life, then death gets grayed out. Disappears. We're going to skip shield and rock and go to cold. For cold, it's fire. No cold and fire in the same spell. That's silly. Now, D is a funny one. D goes to lightning, and lightning has two, Q and D. So does that make sense? So if I put a lightning in my Q, I can't put a rock or a water, because obviously a rock would short it out, physics, and water would make you electrocute yourself. So you can't do either of those. Now shield is the oddball. Shield is the weird one. Shields is actually shields. Look, shield is grayed out. You can't have two shields in the same spell. You can only have one shield. Isn't that fancy? Alright. So those are incompatible elements, which means that if you have elements in your queue that you do not want there for whatever reason, you can get rid of them. Here's 3. Look. Water gets rid of lightning. Life gets rid of arcane. And another shield will get rid of the shield. So why is this useful? Most of the time, if you have a spell that you don't want, it's much faster just to cast it and get rid of it. But there's one notable exception, that's pretty much lightning. You do not want to go around shocking yourself. So say I have these lightning elements queued up and I get wet somehow. Oh no, I'm wet. I can't cast these. What do? Water, water, water. Or rock, rock, rock. And they're gone. And you can go about your merry day. Alright guys, that does it for tutorial number 4. Please subscribe, please like these videos. If you don't, then reflect that in the comments and tell me what I can do better. I hope you guys have had fun with this tutorial. I hope you learned a lot. Come back, the next tutorial is going to come out real soon. You guys are going to like it. We're going to start getting into the meat of stuff real soon. Thank you guys once again. This has been Shrekken. Hope you are becoming a better wizard.